AJ's good enough that he can go out and run the best lap he can run right out of the gate anytime, right? So for him, he can just wait, be patient, go out when the track's as dry as possible and hammer a good clean lap. As long as there's not a lot of race cars in his way on the racetrack at the end trying to do the same thing. Right now, the drivers that are on the racetrack still have some damp areas. There are a lot of dry lines, but the track is not exactly in the best shape, especially like through this area, right? It's still a little bit damp in the racing line. So
the NASCAR Hall of Famers to my left and my right have both been behind the wheel. Dale Jr., you first. What would you like? You want to get right out there?
Well,
attack it aggressively?
I want to go on out there and run as many laps as I can. If I'm able to put on another set of tires during this practice or during this qualifying round, that gives me the idea to go out there and just try to learn and get faster and faster every lap.
And things get completely dried out, and then
there you go.
Justin Allgaier off. So this is messing things up right from the beginning for this team, this driver and this team.
Off in turn number 1. We just talked about the fact that the restart zone should make that a little less chaotic, but we also saw in the highlights drivers on their own, DJ, under heavy braking.
Yeah, the absolute worst spot that you could, because now you've messed up 2 laps basically. So he's just going to have to take his time going around because he's already built up some heat in these tires. And you can see just trying to get a little bit more. He was trying to really get a good arc to where you could really cut that corner and keep your speed rolling through the center of the corner, and just got out from under him. Now, I have to say, I think NASCAR did the right thing with the wet weather tires here. I think that would have been quite ambitious, and we would have had a lot more cars spinning if everybody would have been putting slicks on trying to get more speed.
About halfway or a little past halfway through his lap, and he's starting to understand what the car can do, starting to understand the grip of the racetrack, and you see that lap time there just a little bit better than Ty Gibbs heading down into turn 7. Just a few more corners to complete this lap. Left front tire, especially on damp patches of asphalt. And in these cars as well, we still see the wheel hop where you're trying to downshift and not matching the revs on the engine. You get, the brakes and the wheels hopping in the back of the car. And you see so many mistakes, and it's easy to do in this car.
And you saw as we rode along there with AJ just how hard he was having to work to get that kind of speed out of it. So that's the fastest car and maybe the best driver in the field that was having to work as hard as he was to put that lap down. But what a great lap it was.
As we watch the most recent road course winner, Sam Mayer, got his first win at Road America after that crazy race you got to call, Dave. Just one point of clarification from crew chiefs down here. They're being told by NASCAR they cannot change tires during this session. So like AJ Allmendinger, who just went out and went fastest, and also Justin Allgaier, who more importantly spun just a moment ago, they have to run that set for the entire session if they go back out.
8 minutes remaining.
Right, big lockup on the left front now, and the right front. Gonna miss this corner.
Yeah.
Bunch of lockup there.
Just he knew, hey, I put a top 10 lap down. I'm gonna go push it hard. I'm gonna go for broke. Didn't work out, but now he knows where the limit is.
Jeremy Clements behind him must be thinking, holy cow, what's going on up there?
Yeah, and that's gonna flat spot the tires enough. I think that even if he does continue to run, it'll have enough vibration and a lack of front grip and turn that won't really be able to make any good lap time with this thing going forward.
The laps in comparison to AJ's, and so he was 3 seconds off of what AJ ran. So even though we see that, here he is at a second and a half right now, anything under that is going to move because he's way back. He's 23rd spot right now. So he needs to just be solid the rest of this lap to minimize the damage of that spin early on in this qualifying session.
John Hunter Nemechek's flyer now. 5 wins on the season, tied for the regular season championship. Like to see a good result here again today.
They kept compounding, and then eventually he got off course there. I think it was around 12 or 13, something like that, and just destroyed the front of his race car and cost himself a lot of points that day. In what could have been a very solid day, he ended up losing a lot of points in his battle for the regular season championship.
And you saw right there before we cut away, Nemechek was dealing with some lap traffic as he was starting that second lap. So that's going to affect that in some way negatively, as you see Ty Gibbs
going for it, Junior.
Yeah, he is on a hot lap here.
A lot of pride on the line, and don't hold him back. Let him go for it.
Well, I have to think
2/10 slower than your fastest lap.
I think JJ might have just got bored and decided to go back out. No, there's really nobody close to him.
Yeah, well, he's going to run here. He's just starting his next run here, going, there's pit exit off to the right.
So you can watch AJ versus AJ. His time at the top, the quick time that's been set down below. You can see he's in the green.
Sorry, I meant that was pit entry back there, and then the restart zone down the front straightaway. He's already a 10th off. See if he can improve here through all the technical part of this racetrack.
And I'm sure he knows, Junior, which corner he could have hit better on that lap, right?
Yeah.
Did not better his time. Again, on the wet weather tires now from Goodyear. We do not know what the conditions are going to be like for the start of the race, but we believe there's a chance they're going to have to run these wet weathers later on this afternoon. We shall see.
Yeah, we can see Riley Herbst here out running, and
Casgrala with him.
Yep, unfortunately encounters, Kaz is trying to get his lap in, but this certainly impeded Riley Herbst from being able to do it. He had a great run at Road America. He had a couple of incidents that he got in, none of his making, but came back and ended up with a solid finish, and that's propelled him to have a decent points spot now.
So AJ climbing out. We'll mention that Will Rogers, Colin Garrett, the 44 car, that is Connor Daly, and the 08 car of Camden Murphy. They will not make the show, so fortunate for those drivers. Very good news for this driver. Another, I don't know what kind of trophy he gets for this, Marty, but he is he's going to claim another here at a road course.
Yeah, and anytime you win anything in Indianapolis, it's significant. You told me you didn't know what to expect, and it looked like it was only one lap on those rain tires.
Yeah, it's just it's tricky. I mean, obviously, these Goodyear rain tires are really soft, and we didn't know with the first run we didn't even tape up. I didn't know how many laps to run. Luckily, where the start-finish line is, I put a pretty good lap in, so they told me to shut it down. But Leaf Home Water Solution Chevy is pretty, obviously it's pretty good, but we have no idea what it's going to be like in the dry, so we'll find out about 5 o'clock.
You told me Road America, certainly not what this race team wanted, not the way you want to represent Colleague Racing. Is it now much better coming here, clearly on the pole? Do you feel more confident about the race?
Yeah, I mean, I think as always, we're just the evolution of trying to make our setups better. I think that's the thing still at times at Colleague Racing. Like, we have racetracks when we're not good. I mean, we're pretty far off. Road America is tricky with the repave and everything with it, but we definitely didn't have the speed. We'll see the long run here. Fortunately, last year we had a really good car, so we just try to copy it. And it's I heard you talking about any time you do anything significant at Indy, I love this place. Roger, Doug, all the staff here. Thank you for putting on such a beautiful racetrack. So just very fortunate in life to be able to do this and get to drive at Indy.
No rest for AJ, though. Got to get in the Cup car here just in a few moments. But on the pole, first goal of the day on the pole for Indianapolis for the Xfinity race later today, Dave.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.